Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to CPHS Channel 6 Cablecast of a big showdown here at Memorial Stadium. What a weekend for football. Tomorrow afternoon, it's State against Michigan. Just down south a ways tonight, it's the Mariners of Marine City against the Vikings of Marysville. A little bit to the north, you'll find the Redskins of Sandusky taking on Croslex. And right here, on a damp and chilly night, the heat is on at Memorial Stadium. The Northern Huskies against the Port Huron High Big Reds. Not much else to be said about this ball game. My name's Eric Rucker. Joining us in the booth is Jim Schultz. Jim, the electricity is on here at Memorial.
It's on and it's hot and it's heavy, Eric, and the excitement is rolling unbelievable here in the stadium, Eric. This is Port Huron's Navy-Army game and Michigan State game, Eric, and it's extremely exciting for the football players, the fans, and the relatives, and I'm happy to be here.
Tonight's teams from Port Huron, the Big Reds are 3-3, 2-3 in the Macomb Area Conference. The Northern Huskies also 3-3, 2-3 also in league play. The Big Reds, Jim, the last couple weeks struggling a bit. The Northern Huskies with 2 big wins. Doesn't matter tonight, though.
No, Eric, you can throw everything out, Eric, because the emotions are running extremely high here for the football players, and when they get up for each other, Eric, anything can happen.
Weather conditions tonight. About an hour ago, a steady rain was falling, and it certainly looked like it was going to turn out to be a miserable evening. However, the skies are overcast, but the rain has stopped for the moment. Very little wind. Really an excellent night for football.
Yeah, Eric, the only detrimental thing at all that is the field might be a little bit slippery, Eric, but as far as temperature and so forth, it's ideal playing weather for the football teams.
Well, we got a few moments before the start of tonight's contest, Jim. Share with us the strengths and weaknesses of our teams.
Well, let's first go to the Big Reds, Eric. The Big Reds come out of the starting gate extremely strong. The defensive unit has been good all year long, except for last week's loss to Chippewa Valley, 28-0. The defense let their guard down. On the offensive side of the Big Reds, they've struggled all season long. On the Port Huron Northern Husky side, they came out strong against Marysville, and then they had some tough losses against Chippewa Valley, East Detroit, and Stevenson. But the last 2 weeks, they came back and played extremely well, and especially well against Eisenhower, Eric, where they beat them 6-0. Defensively, they played an extremely strong game. Offensively, they're always a constant threat.
Well, Jim, as I've mentioned before many times on our cablecasts, I just do the talking. You're the fellow that does all the work during the week and getting us prepared for our broadcast. Tell us what the coach has had to say during the week.
Well, Coach Delkey says he wants to stop the Big Reds' running game. He feels that if he can stop the Big Reds' running game with the stunning defense, the same thing that he did against Eisenhower, he feels that he'll be in pretty good shape. On the Big Red side, they feel that if they can get their offensive going, their defense will keep them in the ball game, and they've got a good chance of winning this ball game.
Over the years, there have been many, many close games in this crosstown rivalry. However, in the last 6 years, Jim, with the exception of one game, it's been decided by less than a touchdown and invariably late in the game.
Yeah, Eric. Ben, we've seen all good games. The Huskies have got the edge a little bit in the one-loss column, but they've been good ball games.
The fact that the Big Reds have come up short for the last 4 years, I'm sure that really doesn't matter. I think that both teams are, as always, fired up, not only tonight, but all during the week preceding this game.
Oh, Eric, they started off with the first 2 days of practice this week, Monday and Tuesday, in the rain, and it didn't dampen either team's spirits at all, Eric. They were ready to go. They wanted to get out there and get some practice in.
Our compliments to both high school bands tonight in a pregame show which featured a dazzling Star-Spangled Banner by both bands. Directors Greg Christensen from Northern and Bob Clark from Port Huron High School. Our hats off and congratulations to you and your band members.
Oh, Eric, both bands did an exceptionally great job here, Eric, and talk about helping to pump up this crowd. It was extremely exciting.
And speaking of the crowd, as would be expected on a night like this, both sides of Memorial Stadium pretty much filled. I would say here on the east side, it's standing room only. On the west side, and fans are still rolling in as we're just a couple minutes away from getting started, a jam-packed stadium.
Yeah, jam-packed stadium, Eric. We even got people standing down in the end zone.
The Huskies did win the toss. They elected to defer to the second half. The Big Reds will receive the ball. The teams led by their respective co-captains, number 19, Ryan Mullins, and number 79, Joe Gilbert for the Big Reds. For the Huskies, number 13, Brian Hanton, number 27, Ryan Porty, number 31, Norm Cosgrove, and number 78 is Sam Bland. Those the co-captains for your teams tonight. Doing the kicking for Northern will be number 83, Yannick Christensen. Deep for the Big Reds is Marlon Ashford and Jeffrey Johnson. We're set to go here. It's Northern against the Big Reds. Line drive kick comes down to Ashford at about the 7. And whistle, stoppage of play.
I didn't see any flag, Eric, and that was kind of surprising. I didn't see anybody moving there on the Big Red side, I didn't hear the whistle. So,
well, I got a feeling maybe. Well, we'll see what the officials sorted out, but could be that Northern was just a little bit excited, and
either that or the officials weren't quite ready.
Officials weren't quite ready. By the way, our officials for tonight's ball game, as assigned by the Macomb Area Conference: Richard Osborne, Dick Vardy, Bill Williams, Walt Kreitcher, and John Kramer. All from Detroit. Now we're set to go here. Christensen from the zone 40. Deep is Ashford and Johnson for the Big Reds. Now the whistle goes and we're set. A low line drive kick comes down a couple hops to Edwards. At about the 22, Edwards is wrestled out of bounds at the 29-yard line by number 48 for Northern, making the first tackle of the night. And that is Don Duman.
He's 6'1", 180-pound junior, Eric, from that Huskies.
And Poyer and High will put the ball in play. First down and 10 from the 29. It looks like the Big Reds are having a no-huddle offense to start the ball game, Jim.
A little surprise
here. A
little
bit of innovation.
Yep, and you're going to see nothing.
The ball's given off to Gilbert. He crosses the 30 out to maybe the 32. In on the stop for Northern was number 58. Nick Ward also in on the stop was Norm Cosgrove. And the Big Reds going again with that no-huddle offense to start the ball game.
And Norm Cosgrove does a terrific job there for the Husky defense.
The ball's handed off to the fullback, the first man through, and he is stopped right at about the line of scrimmage. Possibly a pickup of 1. It's 3rd down and 7 now from the 32. Again, the Big Reds employing that no-huddle offense, trying to get things going early here in the ball game. Carpenter looks, throws in the flat, and it is. Looks like he's got it. Yes, it's caught.
Great catch by number 87.
Billy Williams, 87.
87, Billy Williams. He's the guy that brought the ball down in the end zone for a touchdown against Stevenson.
First down and 10.
Excuse me, that was Sterling Heights, wasn't it, Eric?
Right. First down and 10 now. The ball is spotted at the 44. Again, the Big Reds showing a little bit of innovation here with a no-huddle offense to start things off. Joe Johnson, the fullback, straight through. He's stopped by Ward and Bland for the Huskies.
Bland, I believe, is the leading tackler on the Husky side, Eric. Let me see if I can get some stats on him.
Pickup of 2, 2nd down and 8 from their own 46. They move from our right to our left as Northern defends the north end zone.
48 tackles so far this season for
Carpenter
Bland.
off to the second man through. That's J.J. Jeffrey Johnson. He's out to midfield where he's tackled by Cosgrove, number 31. Pickup of 4. It's 3rd down and 4 now from the 50.
And Cosgrove, Eric, is the number 2 tackler on the Huskies.
Ball's given off to Johnson. Bland and Ward in on the stop. Pickup of about 2. He had to get to the 46. The ball's marked at the 48 of Northern. It'll be 4th down. And possibly this drive will stall as it's a punting situation.
Well, the Big Reds come right out of the gate with some exciting football there, Eric.
Flag on the play. Let's see what we got. It's going to be marked off against the Big Reds. An infraction at the line.
I think that could have been possibly moving of the ball there, Eric, without getting permission. Not exactly sure what the infraction would be called.
Illegal procedure, according to our head referee, Mr. Osborne. 4th and 7 now. The ball at the 47. Johnson will do the punting for the Big Reds. Andre Powell, number 42, is deep for Northern. The Huskies showing rush. They do, but Johnson gets a nice, high, long kick. Touched by Powell. The ball is loose, and it's recovered by the Big Reds.
Recovered on the 20-yard line, Eric. And that's a thing that might be important in tonight's ball game is turnovers, Eric.
Well, Andre Powell just couldn't get the handle on it. Slipped out of his fingers, recovered at the 20-yard line. We'll call it the 21 for the Big Reds, where they'll have it 1st down and 10 following the turnover.
That's the first break of the game, Eric, and that's on the Big Red side.
9 and 12 to go early here in the ball game. 1st and 10 for Port Huron High. In motion is Joe Johnston. Ball's given off to JJ straight up. Across the 20 to about the 18.
Tackled in there by number 78, Eric. That's Sam Bland again.
And it's time for that Big Red offensive line to do some work here against this very steady and tough Northern defense. That offensive line led in there by 79, co-captain Joe Gilbert. Also, Jerry Stein, Ron Franklin, Jerry Green, and Andy Moore, the interior offensive linemen for the Big Reds. 2nd down and 6 from the 17. Ball's given off to Johnson off the left side. He had one man to beat to get out into the flat. That was Bland, and Bland came up with a big play.
Bland is doing an exceptionally good job that he's done all year long so far, Eric. That Bland is just a hard-nosed football player.
Pickup of 2. It's 3rd and 5 from the 16. Aaron Carpenter, the junior quarterback for Port Huron High, out of the wing T formation. In motion goes flag on the play.
And I think it's encroachment by the Huskies, Eric. It'll be interesting if that'll be enough to give them a 1st down or not.
Well, we'll see where they spot the ball. And the clock has been stopped.
Yes, and they are signaling 1st down, Eric.
1st down and 10 from the 6. It's from the, actually from the 11, it looks like.
Yep.
Clock will start now. 7 and 52 to go. 1st quarter. Big Reds 1st and 10 at the Northern 11. In motion is Gilbert to his left. Ball's given off to the fullback Johnson straight ahead. He's across the 10, maybe down to the 8. Into the ball game for Port Huron. Number 49 is Jason Carrier.
Him and Steve Gilbert, Eric, take in the plays when they alter like that.
Here we go, 2nd and 7 from the 8. The Big Reds could conceivably get a 1st down here on this series. Ball's given off to Johnson. Joe Johnson close to the goal line, down maybe to the 2. See where they spot the ball.
Looks about 1.5 yards short, Eric, maybe 2.
We'll call it a 3rd down and a short 2 for a 1st down. The ball marked at the 3-yard line. Big play here for both clubs. The Big Reds knocking on the door. 6 and 38 to go. 3rd down and 2 from the 3. The power pitch to Johnson off to the left side. He cuts. Let's see, what's the call? It appears he's got the 1st down. We're going to see where they spot the ball.
Geez, that was close. I don't know. The Port Huron Big Reds were hoping for a touchdown, but they said no, not quite.
1st down.
1st down.
Goal to go for Port Huron High.
Can't be much left in between there and the goal line. That was a new play, Eric. I have not seen that play this year so far.
6:10 to go, first quarter. No score, the Big Reds. Still with the ball. First down and goal.
I bet you $1 they go on one.
Well, who's going to prevail? The ball is given off to Johnson over the top. The
touchdown!
signal is a touchdown. And the Porter and High Big Reds, not to be denied, here in the first quarter, have scored first to take an early 6-0 lead. And that could turn out to be a big, big situation in this game.
Well, Eric, if I'm not mistaken, in the last 3 years at least, the Huskies has always scored first. Now the Big Reds scored first. But to credit the turnover and also a penalty down there to give them a first down for the Big Reds of being able to score there.
Well, it'll be up to the defense now to see what happens. Here we go.
Scheffler in for the extra point.
Out of the hold of Mullins. The snap is down. The kick is up. It's got plenty of distance, and it is good. So with 5:55 to go in the first quarter, Kenny Semmelsberger says, oh boy, here we go. Porter and High, 7, and the Northern Huskies, no score.
Eric, it's so exciting. You listen to both bands going on each side of the stadium here, and I want to tell you, it's really going.
That drive, Jimmy Schultz, 7 plays, 20 yards, guided by the 5-yard encroachment penalty. JJ over the top for 6. Matt Scheffler kicks the extra point. Big Reds up by 7.
That's Scheffler's 6th extra point this year, Eric.
Porty, Hinton, and Cosgrove deep for Northern.
To show you the excitement, Eric, Matt Scheffler put the tee down on the 35-yard line instead of the 40. Talk about excitement in this ball game.
Scheffler will do the kicking duties for the Big Reds.
But I want to tell you now, the Huskies did not give up that 7 points without a fight.
It took the Big Reds 7 plays plus a 5-yard penalty, but they got it in. They lead early, 7-0. Here we go. Scheffler kicking from our left to our right. Low scrib kick.
I think it was touched.
To Porty at the 15, and he is tackled in there and hemmed in by a host of Big Red defenders.
And you're going to see that kind of tackling, Eric, all night long on both sides of the field, Eric.
Time now for the Northern Huskies to go to work on the offensive side. The offensive line led in there by Holser Carney, number 55. Rich Armstead, number 59. James Gardner, 65. Joe Giroux, 72. And Jason Williams is number 74. Jamison and Henderson are the wideouts. Ball's given off to Porty, the fullback, off the right side.
Porty, he's a big one, Eric. He's 6'2", 195-pound senior, Eric, and he's been a workhorse for the Huskies back there all season long.
The Huskies will line up with number 13, their fine quarterback, Brian Hanton. Ryan Porty, the fullback, and Glatchen and Kovac are the wingbacks. In motion is Kovac. Ball's given off to Porty on a counter across the left side. He's out across the 25, out to the 28.
In on the tackle, number 70, Doug Warren, Eric, defensive end.
This drive starting at their own 23. The Northern Huskies move from our right to our left. The Big Reds defending the south end zone at Memorial Stadium. Wide left now is Brian Jamison. Wide right is Chris Hall. In motion is Kovac. Flags are thrown on the play. Whistles. And it appears perhaps maybe the Northern Huskies a little bit illegal procedure.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, Eric. Looks like we had 2 guys in motion at the same time.
It's an automatic 5-yard mark-off. It'll bring up third down now and 10 from the 22. 4:23 to go, first quarter. The Big Reds enjoying an early 7-0 lead.
Eric, we got to get into the strategy of the Huskies won the flip and they deferred, didn't they? We'll have to get into that strategy a little later on in the game.
Well, looking at the weather conditions, the wind really is no factor. It appears that if the wind is a factor, it's coming out of the southwest.
Yeah, not too much of a win, Eric. That's for sure.
Here we go. 3rd and 9 now. In motion is Glatchen to his left. Hanton rolls to his left, looks, throws, the ball's thrown, and it is caught by Kovacs. Across the 40, still on his feet, across the 50, and finally run out of bounds by Warren and Schultz, but not before Brian Kovacs, number 26, hooks up with Brian Hanton on a 34-yard pass play, 1st down and 10 for Northern at the Big Red 44.
That's Brian Kovacs' second reception this year, Eric. He just pulled down a big one right there.
The ball is marked at the 43 of Port Huron High. 1st down and 10.
Extremely nice throw and pass by Hampton there.
Excellent pass. Excellent. No motion man this time. Porty, the ball carrier, fullback straight up the middle. Got to be one man, and that is Howell. And Howell wrestles him out of bounds, but not before he reaches the 26-yard line. And that will be another Northern Husky 1st down.
Porty's averaging 5 yards every time he touches that ball so far this season, Eric.
Boy, give credit to the offensive line. What a hole up the middle. Porty for 18. It's a 1st down and 10 now for Northern at the Big Red 25.
That was Gardner and Armstead who opened it up over there, Eric. And old Jeff Dent throwing a nice block.
Wide right for the Huskies. Number 3, Chris Hall. Number 12, left. Wide left is Brian Jameson. In motion is Glatchen. Porty, play action. Looks. Got a wide open side on the right side. He's across the 10, across the 5, and out of bounds at about the 3-yard line. And what a well-executed offensive play for the Northern Huskies. Brian Hanton, play action pass, rolling right and tucking it in and picking up 23 big yards.
Yeah, Eric. Defensive end on that particular side got sucked in, and Brian Hampton had the missed motion going the wrong way, and then bootleg around to his right side, Eric, and he took it down there a long, long ways.
And let me tell you, folks, the Northern Huskies certainly are not going to be denied. This drive starting on their own 23-yard line, and in 5 plays, they are now 1st and goal at the Big Red 2.
That was a big concern of Coach Tom Rodema, was that he wanted his defense to be able to contain Hanton. Do not let him get outside.
Clock stopped following the tackle out of bounds. 3 minutes and 19 seconds to go, 1st quarter. The Big Reds enjoying a 7-0 lead right now, but the Huskies are knocking on the door. They move from our right to our left. The Big Reds defending the south end zone here at Memorial Stadium. We're set to go now.
Look for Hanton to keep it, to take it in himself.
Jameson is wide left. Henderson is wide right. In motion is Glatchen. Play action, Porty rolling left, looking in the end zone. Now he tucks it, puts his head down, and he is stopped short.
Great defensive play in there, Eric. He is so dangerous when he gets outside like that.
Warren and Phillips in on the key stop for the Big Reds. Pickup of 1, we'll call it 2nd and goal from the 1.
You can believe, Eric, that Coach Delkey will use all 4 downs to get it in if he doesn't score on this 3rd down. All holds barred in this game, Eric.
Jameson now is wide left. Hall is wide right. Porty lines up just a little bit closer to his quarterback. 2nd and goal from the 1. The ball's given off to Porty straight ahead, and he's in for the touchdown. And the Northern Huskies, celebrating on the far side of the field, have come within 1. An impressive drive for the Huskies.
Like I say, Ryan Porty, he's a big one, Eric, 205 pounds.
Ryan Porty for 1-yard touchdown run, a key offensive series for the Huskies. 7 plays, 77 yards. The key play, a 34-yard 3rd down and 10 situation, pass reception from Hanton to Kovacs. Hanton to the kicking out of the hold of Jameson. The kick is up, and the kick is good. And Jimmy, with 2:18 to go, 1st quarter, we're all tied up at 7.
Yeah, very, very impressive drive by the Huskies, Eric.
7 plays, 77 yards, 1 yard run by Porty. Hanton kicks the extra point. We're knotted at 7. And I'll tell you,
It's got this crowd excited.
we could have some fireworks tonight, Jim. Going deep now for the Big Reds to receive the kickoff is Marlon Ashford, 27, and Jeff Johnson, 23. Yannick Christensen to do the kicking for Northern. We're set to go. The signal's given, and Christensen's kick now. A squib kick, flag on the play. Looks like it came down to Mullins. He is across the 35, fights his way to the 36. And we'll see what the call is. It was right at the 50-yard line, which would indicate, Jim, that possibly offsides against the Big Reds.
The Big Reds or the Huskies, Eric, on the kicking team. I'm not sure. I didn't see. Normally, it seems like when they have offsides on the kickoff, it's always the team that's doing the kicking, so I'm not really sure.
Well,
and it looks like that's what they're doing. They're bringing her back.
They're bringing her back. And now the officials are a little bit confused themselves.
Oh, maybe
it's against the Big Reds.
It was against the Big
Offsides.
Reds. Did you see something there, Eric, that I didn't see?
No, the referee was standing, though, right at the 50-yard line where the flag was thrown, and that is where the Big Reds would normally line up. The 5-yard mark-off will move the ball to the 45 now, where Christensen will see if he can't put the Big Reds in a little bit deeper territory. Ashford and Johnson now deep, standing at their own 5. And now we're set to go. This time Christensen gets a good leg into it, comes down to Johnson at about the 12. Johnson sidesteps one way, cuts across the other way, across the 20, out to the 25, to the 26. And Poyer and High will have it first down and 10.
Now it'll be interesting, Eric, to see if the Big Reds can move offensively. You know, that's where they've struggled most of the season, Eric. It'll be a big lift to the Big Reds if they are able to do that.
And what a lift the Northern Husky offense just gave their defense.
Oh, they sure did. Whoa.
Scoring quickly after PH had taken an early lead. Inside 2 minutes now, first quarter. Carpenter gives the ball off to Joe Johnson, the hard-running fullback for Poyer and High. He's out to about the 28. Pickup of only 1. We'll call it 2nd and 9.
That Husky defense is playing them tough.
McIntyre and Carrier are the double wideouts to the right. Carpenter looks past, throws across, intercepted by Cosgrove. Norman Cosgrove, and he's got a lot of speed. He's got one man to beat, and he's wrestled down by 57. That is for Poyer and High on a key tackle is Andy Moore, and Norman Cosgrove coming up with the big play for the defense for Northern and the Huskies. With the ball at the 12-yard line of Poyer and High, first down and 10.
Andy Moore, 5'8", 160 junior.
Jamison goes wide left. Henderson is wide right. Porty is the fullback. Brian Hanton. In motion is Gladson. And Brian Hanton on some play action. Faking, slipping on what appears to be a wet turf out there.
Yeah, I think he might have got tripped up there with Ryan, also Ryan Porty there, Eric.
Loss of 5 on the play. Big play for the Big Reds defensive unit.
Defensively, you know.
Second down now and 15 from the 17.
Because those yards, once you get inside the 20, Eric, are always tough yards to get.
In motion is Kovacs to his right. Hanton looking pass, throwing forward. Jamison caught, touchdown. Brian Jamison from Brian Hanton and the Northern Huskies, with just 11 seconds to go in the first quarter, have taken a 13-7 lead over a stunned Big Red defense.
Brian Jamison, Eric, has caught 10 passes for 114 yards coming in today's game. And credit Jamison's height advantage there, Eric. 6'4" over Howell, I think. And let's see if I can't get his height.
Hinton out of the hole to Jamison. The snap is up. They're good. The kick is up. And it's good. And with 11 seconds to go in the first quarter, the Northern Huskies have taken a 14-7 lead following a key turnover by the Big Red offensive unit. Only 2 plays, 17 yards. Hinton to Jamison. Hinton's kick is good. And just like that, the Northern Huskies, after being down by 7 early in the first quarter, have taken a 14-7 lead.
Yeah, I believe that was Howell there on the coverage of Jamison there, Eric. He's 5'10", with Jamison being 6'4". Howell had pretty good position on him, but Jamison just went up over top of him and brought her down.
Ashford and Johnson, that's Jeff Johnson. Deep for the Big Reds. Christensen will do the kicking for Northern. He's been a busy young man. This is his 3rd kickoff, and we're only in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Squib kick comes down to Ryan Mullins at the 25. He picks it up, cuts across, gets by. Oh, he had one man to beat. That was number 47, and that's a key tackle for the Northern Huskies. Give credit to Eric Johnson.
Good field position for the Big Reds, Eric. At their own 44 probably, Eric. 44, 45.
The ball is spotted, the chains are marked, the clock will start, and our first quarter will come to a close. A very exciting first quarter for all of the fans here at Memorial Stadium. This key crosstown rivalry, the Northern Huskies and the Big Reds, with Northern leading 14-7.
2 turnovers, Eric, 2 scores.
Recapping a fumbled punt by the Northern punt receive team gave the Big Reds a key possession at the Northern 20. 7 plays, culminated by a 1-yard Johnson run. Scheffler's kick was good, and with 6.5 minutes to go, the Big Reds were ahead 7-0. Not to be denied, the Northern Huskies came back. A key pass reception from Hinton to Kovacs, setting up the first score. And then following an interception by Norm Cosgrove, Hinton to Jamison, both extra points good, and Northern ahead 14-7 as we begin play in the second quarter. The ball's given off to Johnson, the fullback, the first man through. He's across the 45 to the 46.
Tackled in there to number 68, Eric. And that is Steve Friend.
2nd down and 8. The ball marked at the Big Red 46. They move now from our right to our left. The Huskies defending the south end zone. Johnson and Johnston are the running backs. The ball's good off to Joe Johnson, and he's across midfield. They spot the ball exactly on the 50-yard line, where it's going to be 3rd down now, and we'll call it 4. 3rd and 4 right from the midfield stripe. Carriers, the wingback, Johnson and Johnston are the setbacks for the Big Reds. In motion is Carrier to his right. Ball's given off to the fullback, and he's across the 50 to about the 49. Key tackle by Northern was number 66, Mike Bales.
There goes the punting team, Eric.
4th down and 3, and the Northern defense has held once again. And as we mentioned at the onset of the ball game, Jimmy, the Big Reds offensive unit will have to sustain some drives against this tough defensive unit from Northern.
Yeah, this particular series of downs, Eric, the Port Huron Big Red offense did not show pass once. It'll be interesting to see if they'll go back to the pass since the interception.
Joe Johnson gets a good kick away. The ball's rolling towards the goal line, and it's going to be down at the 1-yard line. Joe Johnston, a 48-yard punt. Looked like Andy Moore, 57?
57 was the one guy that got down there. That's Andy Moore, Eric. Great job by Andy.
And the Northern Huskies offensive unit now in a hole, 1st down and 10 from their own 2, but that has not been a problem so far. They lead 14-7, inside 10 minutes to go, second quarter. this key Macomb Area Conference crosstown rivalry. The Northern Huskies and the Big Reds. Henderson and Jamison are the wideouts. In motion is Gladchen. The ball is given off to Porty, and he is stopped cold. Possibly a loss on the play.
In on the tackle, I believe that looked like Mullins, Ryan Mullins, Eric. I believe that was. Our spotters up here aren't doing a very good job for us.
Loss of 1. It's 2nd down and 11 now from their own 1-yard line. And what a key series this is for the defensive unit of the Big Reds.
It sure is, Eric. They'd love to be able to get the ball back and get it back down there real close and give it to the offense. We've got 2 fine linebackers in there, Eric, with Mullins and Duncan.
2nd and 11 from their own 1. In motion is Gladchen to his left. Hanton throws the ball. Is batted away by Chris Duncan at the line of scrimmage. Intended for number 3. That's Chris Hall. Duncan bats away the pass. Incomplete. Stops the clock with 8:55 to go. 3rd down now and 11.
That was a nice play by Chris Duncan there, Eric, because as the receiver come across there, he was open for that pass. Don't be surprised if they might go right back to it and do it again.
You never can tell with this Northern offense, Jim. They can score just about on any given play they run. In motion is Kovacs to his right. Hanton pitches the ball to Porty. He's got open field on the far side. It will be a 1st down as he's across the 15. And
1st down.
The Northern Huskies showing a little innovation on that particular play, a little run and pitch.
Yep, big play there, Eric. As I said, Ryan Porty's averaging 5 yards a carry, Eric.
Excellent call by Coach Delkey and his staff. 1st down and 10 from the 15 now.
That was a big 1st down for the Huskies.
Into the ball game now for Northern is number 17, Jeff Dent. He's the wideout on the far left. And
interesting to see what the Reds are doing defensively now. They've got everybody up.
Ball's given off to Porty, the fullback, and he's going nowhere. Possibly a pickup of 1. It'll be 2nd down now and 9 from the 16. How about those Redskins?
Well, the Redskins is up there in Pioneer Country, Eric. They're playing a Class B school, and they beat them tonight. They very well is going to rack up a lot of points for that state playoff.
They came up on the short end of a 42-28 game last week against Harbor Beach. And
I want to tell you, now, that was a great ball game, you know. That was run.
8-20 now, 2nd quarter. 2nd down and 8 from the 17. Gladchen's in motion. Hanton looking, throwing, and it's caught out there by Henderson across the 40 to the 42. And Brian Hanton to Dave Henderson. 25 yards, and I'll tell you, that ball not underthrown a bit, and Henderson's got 6.
Yeah, he was long gone. Henderson coming into the ball game has caught 4 passes for 41 yards. Not bad, 10-yard average every time he grabs that ball. And that gives the Huskies some breathing room now, Eric.
The ball at their own 44, 1st down and 10. In motion is Kovacs. Ball's given off to Kovacs, and he's going to be stopped for a loss. Give credit to on the tackle, number 64 is Ron Franklin.
Ron Franklin and Jamie Smith, number 78.
Second down and 11 now from the 43.
And Coach Delkey's mixing up the plays very nicely over there, Eric, running and pass.
Well, the Northern Huskies have been very successful in the air tonight, and not just for some short gainers, but some very long gainers. In motion now is Gladchen. Hanton looks to his left, throws, caught by Gladchen out in the right flat. Finally wrestled down by a host of Big Red defenders. Pickup of 4. It'll be 3rd down now and 7. 3rd and 7 from the 47.
We're seeing a lot of different things from both these teams tonight, Eric. Making it really interesting for us that's been following them.
Well, no holes barred when these two teams meet. You never know what you're going to find. Clock runs. 6.5 minutes to go in the first half. This time, Porty goes in motion, and that's a big surprise. Hanton looks, throws, and it is incomplete. Pass intended for Porty and just out of his reach at the 40-yard line.
A very, very nice pass thrown by Hampton there, Eric.
That'll bring up 4th and 7 and a punting situation for the Huskies. Going deep for Port Huron High is Marlon Ashford and Joe Johnston, and both those fellas can run, Jim. Brian Hanton to do the punting for the Northern Huskies, and he's been very successful.
Yeah, Hanton, let me see if I can get his average here. I'm trying to look for his
Good.
average.
Long punt comes down, takes a Big Red bounce out to the 27-yard line, where Northern will down it, and Port Huron High will have it 1st down and 10.
Yeah, Hanton's averaging 37.5 yards per punt, Eric. His longest one this season has been 58 yards. He really boomed that one.
There is a flag on the play, and preliminary indications would show that it is against the Big Reds following the punt reception. Well, maybe not. Let's see what we got. Illegal participation against the Big Reds, and that is going to just be a big, big play here in the second quarter. Automatic 1st down, and they mark off the penalty as well. The ball is marked inside the 40, now down to the 38, where Northern will have it 1st down and 10. And what a break for the Huskies.
Yeah, I really don't know what happened there, Eric. I didn't really see it. I was looking at trying to get Hanton's stats.
Illegal participation would indicate possibly 12 men on the field.
That's what I thought, Eric. It looked like too many men.
Jamison and Hall now are the wideouts for the Huskies. In motion goes Porty to his right. Hanton looks, throws, caught by Hall at the 40, and he's wrestled out of bounds at about the 32.
Looks like a 1st down, Eric. Well, maybe not quite.
He did stay, the tackle was made in bounds. The clock continues to run. 2nd down and short now. 2nd, and we'll call it a half a yard from the Port Huron High 29.
A lot of time on this clock yet, Eric, before the half.
Approaching the 5-minute mark here. Northern 14, Port Huron High 7, 2nd down and less than 1. Jeff Dent's wide left. Henderson wide right. In motion is Porty to his left. Motion and flags, and I believe it's going to be illegal procedure against Northern. That's what I saw from this vantage point.
Yeah, that's a tough penalty too, Eric, where they were 2nd and about a half a yard.
So instead of being 2nd and a half a yard, it's going to be 2nd and 5.5 yards.
And those are the kind of penalties that give the coaches gray hair.
Oh, they just go nuts on the sidelines when things like that happen. And penalties and turnovers tonight have played a key part so far.
Yep, they sure have. Two turnovers, Eric, has resulted in 2 touchdowns, 1 for each team.
Hall and Jamison are the wideouts. In motion is Glatchen to his left. Hanton looks left, throwing, and it is caught by Kovac at the 21-yard line.
And he was out there by himself.
1st down and 10 for Northern, right at the 20-yard line, and they are knocking on the door once again.
And Kenny Semmelsberger is asking for timeout to regroup his defense, Eric. There was something missing there on his defense that he wants to go out and talk about. Say, fellas, somebody missed this assignment, and I'm sure that he wants to correct that problem.
Well, Jim, counting the penalty, on the punt, this drive started at the Northern 2-yard line.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Been very, very impressive as far as for the Huskies.
Coming up will be unofficially the 12th play of this drive, which started at their own 2-yard line. They're now first down and 10 at the Big Red 20.
If I'm not mistaken, Eric, they've made up 5 minutes of the clock, too.
2 key plays in this drive so far, a 34-yard pass reception from Hampton to Kovac, and a key illegal participation penalty against the Big Reds on a punt, which would have been 4th and 7.
Yep.
Well, Coach Summelsberger slowly walking across the field. And I'm sure he's saying, my goodness, I never thought we'd give up 14 points like this. This time the Huskies break with Henderson wide right, Jamison wide left. No motion. The ball is given off to Porty. Counter off the left side. He's across the 10, inside the 8 to maybe the 6-yard line. Duncan in on the stop for Port Huron High.
Quite a ways downfield there, Eric. Give credit to the left side of the Huskies' offensive line opening up that hole for them.
It's a first down, first and goal from the 7. First and goal from the 7, a 13-yard pickup by Porty. And the Huskies knocking on the door once again. Hall is wide right, Jamison wide left. Porty again, same play. This time he cuts it up the middle, down inside the 5 to maybe the 3-yard line. David Schultz in on the stop for Port Huron High. Close to the goal line. It's 3rd down now and 1. We'll call it 3rd and goal, and Northern will call timeout with 3:27 to go.
That's a lot of size to make up. Schultz weighing 160 pounds and Porty 205.
Well, I'll tell you, if you coach Delke in this situation, you got to be very, very pleased. His offense pretty much moving the ball, executing very well. On the other side of the field, Coach Rodenbaugh and his staff, knowing that the offensive unit's been struggling a bit, has struggled a bit tonight, not able to sustain a drive. And I'll tell you, this is so far a 96-yard drive for Northern so far.
Very, very impressive for the Huskies, Eric. And again, Eric, you got to look at that penalty that was in there when the Big Reds defense held them and had a punt, but then they had too many people on the field and they gave it back to them with a 15-yard penalty. And so consequently, Eric,
how momentum can change
under
just a situation like that. Jamison and Henderson are the wideouts for the Northern Huskies. What's the call? In motion is Kovac. The ball's given off to Porty straight ahead. He's in for the touchdown. And with 3:23 to go, the Northern Huskies on the far side of the field are going bananas. They're up by 13 now, 20-7, and we await the extra point attempt by Brian Hampton.
That was nothing but hard-nosed football right straight at him.
I need a calculator to add this up here, Jim. I know it's 98 yards. Let's see. 14 plays, 98 yards. Hampton's kick is up and good. An impressive 98-yard drive for the Huskies. 1-yard run by Porty. Hampton's kick makes it 21 for Northern and 7 for Port Huron High. 3:23 to go in the first half.
Very, very impressive drive for the Huskies, Eric. 21 points in the first half, and whoa, they're really rolling.
Well, there's no indications that these two teams, especially the Northern Huskies at this point, are affected by the weather conditions that were present earlier. The field certainly not showing signs of affecting the passing game.
Nope, not one bit. It'll be interesting if they'll come right, if the Big Reds will come up and come right back and open it up a little bit of pass. They're going to have to open it up just a little bit, try to get some points on the board as quickly as possible, Eric, before this game gets out of control.
Johnson Ashford are deep. The kick comes down to Ashford at the 10. He goes straight up the middle across the 30 to the 31-yard line, depending on where they mark the ball, where Port Huron High will have it first down and 10. And plenty of time really left in the second quarter, 3 and 15.
Yeah, Eric, they have time to put points on the board.
The ball is marked right at the 30, Port Huron High, first down and 10. Steve Gilbert is the wideout to the far side of the field. Ball is given off to Marlon Ashford, and he is stuffed cold by the Northern defense. He's across the line of scrimmage out to maybe the 31.
Right on the tackle right there to snuff it quick was Cosgrove, number 31. When you take Cosgrove and Bland there in the defense there for the Huskies, Eric, they do extremely well. Give credit for that defensive line of the Huskies too, Eric.
Pickup of 2, second down and 8 now. In motion is Johnson. The pitch goes to Marlon Ashford. He gets to the outside, and he is stopped short of the 35. Good recovery by the Northern defense, led again by Cosgrove and Bland.
Eric, it looked like there might be something out there, but all of a sudden the Huskies shut it off.
Marlon Ashford trying to get the old season running. Suffered that preseason injury. Hasn't had a lot of action.
No, Eric, I believe this is probably his second full game back.
Clock continues to run now, 1 and 56 to go. Gilbert is wide left, out of the I formation. Carpenter rolls to his right, looks down the field, tucks the ball, and he's going to be tripped up. Sam Bland in on a stop. It'll be fourth down now, and yet another punting situation for the Big Reds.
Bland was pretty impressive there, Eric. He has some pretty good speed, it looks like, for a big man. Let's see if I can't get the size on Bland, number 77.
78.
78, I'm sorry.
Cosgrove goes deep for Northern. Joe Johnston to do the punting for Port Huron High.
6'4", 210 pounds for Bland.
Huskies show rush. They do come at it, but Johnson gets a good kick away. Comes down to Cosgrove. It's dropped. Rolls inside the 20. He's still on his feet, and he's going to be hit and hit hard. The Northern Huskies will have the ball first down and 10 from their own 19.
Number 17 on that tackle, I believe it was Chris Allen. Big hit. If I got the right player, Eric, I thought that's who it was.
Well, we'll see what Coach Delkey's got up his sleeve here with 50 seconds and counting. 21-7, the Northern Huskies dominating the first half against the Port Huron High Big Reds.
I think if you coach Delkey right now, you don't want to turn it over. He's gonna run it out, give it to Porty or possibly Brian Hanton just to hang on to it, Eric. Go into halftime with that lead.
In motion is Gladchen. Hanton looking pass, throwing, caught. Double pass, throwing to Porty now across the 25 out to the 27. David Schultz in on the stop for Port Huron High. There's a little razzle-dazzle for you.
Little razzle-dazzle. We got somebody down out here, Eric. And then we got a penalty. We might possibly have a holding penalty there against the Huskies.
The clock is stopped with 23 seconds to go in the second quarter. Northern 21, Port Huron High 7 in this big key crosstown rivalry. The injured player, possibly from our vantage point, number 67 maybe.
I didn't get it. At first I thought I was in the 80s, Eric, but I'm sorry I didn't get his number.
Well, we'll just blame it on our spotters here. We must not be paying them enough money.
I thought at first it might be number 83, Chris Collins, Eric, but I just seen him going in, so I'm not sure who that is. Number 67, Eric, is who it is.
It is 67. That's a Mike Colston. He's sitting up, though. Maybe he's just got the wind knocked out of him or something. Doesn't appear to be too serious. Obviously shaken up, though, and he's going to be helped off the field by the assistant for Port Huron High. Oh, heck, he's not going to be assisted. He's heck, I'll just run off.
I want to tell you, that Coaston kid's a tough kid. He came out to the football team late this year, Eric, and because he came out late, he had to pay the penalty as far as running these stadium steps. There was about 5 or 6 other kids that came out late. He was the only one that was able to stick it out. A lot of guts in that Coaston kid.
Well, the clock now is running as the officials spot the ball, and the Northern Huskies at this point are just content to let the clock run out, as do the Big Reds. Our first half will come to a close here at Memorial Stadium. And the first half, if you're a Northern fan, Jim, boy, you got to be excited.
Oh, yeah, they got to be happy with the way the score is on that board right now, Eric. And they've executed well. The offensive, Eric, has scored 7 points, but they scored 7 points at from the 20-yard line.
At the expense of a turnover.
Yep.
Well, that's our score, 21-7 in favor of the Northern Huskies. Enjoy the halftime show.